Hey everybody, welcome back to DeLorean Tech. This is one for the DeLorean owners out there, specifically the ones in California. We've got a new bill, a new Senate bill on the table to exempt classic cars from smog. So we've been trying to pass an Assembly Bill 210. That one died in the Senate. That would have exempted DeLoreans up to the model year 82. This new bill, dubbed Leno's Law, is Senate Bill 712. So if passed, this Senate bill will be a massive win for DeLorean owners in California and could spark change for other states as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at this article from Haggerty here. Leno's Law. New bill would exempt California classics from smog checks. Change may be afoot for Californians who own classic cars. A new bill would make life much easier for the thousands of enthusiasts in California by amending the state's stringent smog rules, which currently mandate smog checks for vehicles built in or after 1976. If passed into law, California Senate Bill 712 would fully exempt any vehicle that was made at least 35 years ago. That includes DeLoreans. Those were made over 40 years ago. If it were insured as a collector vehicle, which the majority of DeLorean owners, including myself, we insure our cars as collector cars. Not very difficult and actually a little bit more economical. Naturally, California's most famous classic car fan, Jay Leno, is all for the change. He's even agreed to promote the bill. It's been nicknamed Leno's Law. California's rich classic car culture, sparked by the post-war hot rod boom and boosted by Hollywood's love for chrome and horsepower, has made it a paradise for enthusiasts like me, Leno said to NBC Los Angeles. California's smog check laws for classic cars need to be updated. They vary too much state to state, and California's rules don't match up with neighboring ones. Each of California's neighboring states, Oregon, Nevada, and Arizona, has a different set of standards when it comes to smogging classics. Oregon only requires emissions testing in two metro areas, Portland and Medford. Portland exempts vehicles with a model year of 1975 or older, and Medford exempts those 21 years old or older. Nevada only requires emissions testing in the urban areas of Las Vegas and Reno. The state lets pre-1968 model year vehicles off the hook. It also has special registration categories for classic rod, classic vehicle, and old timer, none of which need to be smogged if they're driven 5,000 miles per year or less. I don't know about you guys out there, but I definitely don't drive my DeLorean more than 5,000 miles a year. Depending on how many events I have, it's probably somewhere between 1,000 and maybe 2,000 miles a year. Arizona only smogs vehicles in the metro areas of Phoenix and Tucson, and pre-1967 vehicles and those registered as collectibles with appropriate insurance are not policed. California State Senator Shannon Grove, a Republican representing Bakersfield, is the bill's sponsor. California has a rich automotive heritage, with some of the first classic cars rolling off assembly lines right here in our state, she said to NBC. Grove and Leno both argue that classic cars, if regularly kept up and driven, support the $52 billion aftermarket industry represented by the Specialty Equipment Market Association, or SEMA, a trade association made of roughly 7,000 small businesses, 1,066 of which are in California. SEMA itself is based in the Golden State in Diamond Bar in eastern Los Angeles County. According to the association, California's auto market industry generates $40.44 billion of economic impact, including $6.16 billion in taxes paid. SEMA is proud to support SB 712. Senator Grove's bill provides a practical solution for collector vehicle owners, DeLorean owners included, allowing them to enjoy their passion without the burden of unnecessary regulations, said Mike Spagnola, president and CEO of SEMA. These vehicles are rarely driven, meticulously maintained, and represent only a fraction of the cars on the road. By exempting collector vehicles from smog checks, we could ensure that these historical treasures are preserved for future generations. SEMA even provides an interactive map to help classic car owners navigate which states require what sort of emissions testing, if they require it at all. 18 don't. The next step for Leno's Law is its first hearing. That will occur in April before the California Senate Transportation Committee. See, the article also provides a link to Senator Shannon Grove's Instagram page, Senator Grove states, these rolling pieces of history are more than just vehicles. They have strong cultural ties in our communities and supply thousands of jobs in the aftermarket parts industry. Senate Bill 712 will update the current law to include all classic cars that are 35 years or older, allowing enthusiasts to enjoy their hobby without burdensome restrictions that are driving some collectors and industry businesses out of the state. What does that mean for DeLorean owners? Well, that's a major benefit if this Senate bill passes. I have not had any issues getting my car smogged. My car was one of those cars that was meticulously maintained by its original owner. It's an 83, so it really never had any major problems to begin with. Many other DeLorean owners, unfortunately, have had many issues in getting their car smogged. A lot of these cars sat for many years. They weren't maintained correctly. They sat with fuel sitting in the fuel tank, and then they went and tried to start those cars up and contaminated the fuel system. A lot of cars were stored outside, subject to atmospheric corrosion. The point I'm trying to make is that you've got some examples that'll pass smog without breaking a sweat. Others, not so much. The other issue that we have here in California is most of these smog places that are around, especially here in the Southern California area, they're not consistent. A lot of them don't really know what to do when they see a DeLorean. That said, it's becoming a lost art form. So something like SB 712 is absolutely needed here. These cars are rarely driven. I don't know anyone who daily drives their DeLorean. Most folks have a separate daily driver. That's not to say that these cars can't be driven on a regular basis. They are very good cars, and despite their reputation, they're actually pretty reliable. I've never had any major problems with my car. Of course, I maintain my car meticulously, making sure all of the maintenance is completed. So as DeLorean owners, we really have to support this bill. Even if you're not a California owner, something this big could make a massive impact across the country. So I recommend heading on over to the SEMA website. So there was a link in the article in Haggerty. Going to the SEMA website and supporting the passing of Senate Bill 712. Act now. New Jay Leno law aims to exempt classic cars from smog checks in California. So here's the article over on the SEMA website. I'll drop a link down to this in the description. This is basically saying something very similar to what the Haggerty article has to say about it. But check this out. There's actually a link down here that enables you to help support the passing of the bill. So you click on this link. So this takes you to a page where you can send a letter to our representatives urging them to vote yes on Senate Bill 712. All you got to do is enter your name, phone number, your address. So once you submit your information, you'll get your letter, you'll hit your submit button, and away it goes. It takes literally just a minute. So if your DeLorean is required to be smogged, we do have a video you can check out, the top 10 tips to help you not fail, okay? There's no guarantee that these will work, but this will definitely help you beat the odds when it comes to smogging your DeLorean. I'll drop a link to this down in the description below, and hopefully this video will help you out until we pass SB 712. We've been trying to get our DeLoreans exempt from smog for so long now. This might be the one. This might be our chance to make a big difference here, guys. Once again, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.